What's up, Michigan State fans? It's Jacob Constantine Carrick back for another episode of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. This is another podcast for Thursday, April 2nd, 2026. More basketball today because Tom Izzo uh, dropping some interesting news on us during April Fool's Day. Not as a joke, but he revealed that he last offseason he had been in talks with the Phoenix Suns about their vacant head coaching position. Certainly unexpected. Went on the Dan Patrick show and just kind of said, "Hey, we were seriously talking about it." He didn't say he was ever offered the job. But whenever your head coach is just talking about taking another position, that certainly piques your interest a little bit, and especially when you're talking about someone like Tom Izzo, who had just completed his 30th season as the head coach at Michigan State. He had been, I think it was like year 42 if you include his time as an assistant under Jed Heathcote. It's a long time he spent at one place, and to think about leaving, the fact that he was considering leaving, yeah, certainly surprised me. I was out. I thought running errands on a Wednesday morning. It's April Fool's Day. Who's going to drop news right now? Thought that was a wise move. It definitely wasn't in hindsight, but Tom Izzo does what Tom Izzo does. But certainly, I mean, just breaking it, like, certainly a surprise. Um, Ultimately, we didn't have the doomsday scenario where Izzo leaves for the NBA. MSU looks for another head coach. Yada yada yada. I mean, I do imagine, assuming Izzo retires at Michigan State, I don't see him truly ever entertaining an NBA job. I mean, I can't know for sure. Because again, I don't think you're going to see Matt Ishbia might be one of the only guys who truly gives him up a call. Again, he's the owner of the Phoenix Suns, former walk on for he was on the national championship team in 2000. So obviously, there's the connections there. Dan Gilbert tried to pull him away, another MSU alum, back in 2010. I think it was the offseason LeBron James left Cleveland for Miami. And there was also back in 2000, Izzo had a really, really fat contract offer from the Atlanta Hawks that he turned down as well. But again, he's turned down two times pretty publicly. Like he's had the offer on the table from an NBA franchise to our knowledge, and he's turned it down both times. So obviously, there's this pattern too. Like maybe he like does the occasional flirtation with the NBA. Let's kick the tires, see what's going on here. About once every decade or so, and turns out he would his heart is still in East Lansing. So you have that going for you still to this day. But again, a big search would have. I don't know. I don't know how big the search will be if he retires. I'd imagine it might kind of be like when how Izzo got hired. Izzo might handpick his replacement. I think he's earned that right to kind of pick the guy who's going to succeed him. If I had to guess, Doug Wojcik is his right hand man, but John Borovich is a lot younger. I'd say he's second on the assistant coach rankings. I guess I should say. Borovich is very hands on during practices. Does a whole lot with opponent scout. Like, does a lot of the plays and stuff like that. And Borovich is very, very important to this team. And if right now, if I had to guess who would be the head coach when Izzo retires, he would be my guess right now. Again, younger guy than Doug Wojcik, a lot of energy. So again, good coach as well. Players respect him and everything. So that would be the way I lean right now. But still a surprise. Again, just can't get over that. I mean, this is two times now you have an MSU alum try to pull Izzo away from Michigan State so that they can coach their NBA franchise. Instead, Phoenix did turn to the MSU tree. Jordan Ott, I believe, is his name of the Phoenix Suns. I don't follow the NBA too closely right now, but what I can tell you about the current Phoenix Suns head coach, since I did look him up a little bit, the last name's Ott. I don't know if it's Jordan Ott, but it's Ott. He was a graduate assistant at Michigan State back in 2013 or so, a while back. But again, he was on the coaching staff here working for Izzo at one point. Went on to become an experienced assistant at the NBA level and got the Suns job. There was, I think, Chris Solari of the Detroit Free Press posted an excerpt of an athletic article back from February. Again, it flew under my radar, but said that Izzo had been called up and kind of they talked about the job. The talks like never advanced really, so I don't know if this was ever that close to have to like really truly being a thing. But that Izzo is more in an advisory role. I'm here to help you out type of deal, which would make sense how you land on Ott, a guy who Izzo knows as well, and obviously HBO more inclined to hire someone who has helped out the program in East Lansing before. But still, Izzo's still here, not retiring this offseason. Didn't seem like a guy who's planning on retiring. When he was talking after the UConn loss, someone asked him like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Said looking for national championships, competing for national championships. So I still think Izzo's got a good couple of years left in him if he truly wants to. But the thing that might irk you a little bit is again on the Dan Patrick segment. He's kind of talking about like he doesn't like what's going on in college sports. Transfer portal does a number on you. NIL does a number on you. Again, you've seen a lot of. There's been a relatively maybe not a tidal wave of like high profile coaches from I guess the old guard going into retirement. But there has been, it's been more of a trend. Mike Krzyzewski left, but again, he had been doing this for like eons, so I don't really know how much it tracks with the transfer portal and NIL and stuff like that. But Roy Williams retired, Tony Bennett retired. There's another name that I'm forgetting right now. I mean, Bill Self was rolling retirement, but that was more for health reasons. He announced he's coming back to Kansas anyway, so that's a moot point. Either way, there's another name that I'm thinking of. I mean, Bruce Pearl retired, but he's not really on the tier of Izzo, Roy Williams, and Coach K. People like him. But again, like it does a number on the coaches. Izzo is like 99.8% of the basketball and football coaches don't like what's going on. You don't have to like Izzo's viewpoint of it. I personally, honestly, one of my unpopular opinions is I've been mostly fine with a lot of the changes. Am I totally happy with where college, sports is? Most of my gripes are really with conference realignment. Like I think it's ridiculous that Washington and Michigan State are in the same conference. NIL transfer portal stuff, I don't mind it that much, personally. But again, if you're a coach, it takes a lot of your power away. It really does because you back in 15 years ago, flawed system. Like you were a guy was kind of stuck with you. If you transferred, you had to sit out a year. Joey Hauser, when he transferred to Michigan State, had to sit out a year. That rule was always kind of stupid, but it kept people kind of trapped where they were. Once that rule got removed, people are transferring freely now. Like I'm frankly, I'm kind of fine with it. I'm kind of fine with it personally. I don't know. I know people aren't going to agree with me, but I'm like, you shouldn't try to trap a player or keep a player in one spot voluntarily. If they want to leave, leave. Like it makes it harder to keep track of the rosters, especially in football. It's kind of a nightmare. But I think for basketball, it's really not that difficult. I don't think it's that big of a problem. But for a coach, it can make things a little bit more exhausting. So I can also understand that viewpoint on it as well. But that is just my own personal opinion. My main issue with college sports right now is the fact that MSU goes to Washington, Oregon, UCLA, USC for road games now. Like that is especially in non-revenue sports like soccer. Do we really need to be doing that? No. I mean, it's all fueled for like, all of this is about making more money for football, not even men's basketball. It's all about making glitzy perform like matchups for football, and we're forcing non-rev sports like field hockey, volleyball, and all the non-rev sports, like baseball, softball, go down the list. It's not necessary. I, this is a rant for another time. Football should probably be its own thing in terms of conferences and stuff like that. Everything else should probably fall under the NCAA umbrella. But again, rant for another time. But still, Izzo nearly went to the NBA. Again, the way he was talking, I don't think he ever actually like, we are offering you the job. I don't think that was ever truly on the table for him. But still, always interesting when he says he was talking and considering the Phoenix Suns after again 30 years as the head coach at Michigan State basketball. Stuck with it though. He's now through 31, going into year 32. Again, big offseason ahead. Looking for big thing number one. You gotta have a starting caliber center coming in, and we'll worry about the rest really after that. But yeah, that is all for today. There will be plenty of written content coming your way at SpartanNation.com or at Michigan State Spartans on SI. Thank you though for watching or listening. There'll be more podcasting content coming your way right here as well. But that is it. Signing off. I'm Jacob Katzanika. I'll see you guys around.